And back. Our guest on this segment is Rhonda Bear with She Brews Coffee House. Rhonda, good to have you here, kid.
Thank you.
She Brews Coffee House. Tell me about it. What is it?
She Brews is a second chance job training program for women coming out of incarceration, addiction, and life crisis.
So you're just open arms to those what need it. How did it start? Where'd the idea come from?
Well, I was previously incarcerated, and I know firsthand what drug addiction does to children. It takes their trust, it takes their hearts out of them, it breaks their lives. And I went to prison, and I had a lady that I met named Eileen, and she became my mentor, and she began to help me. And she introduced me to her friends in Tulsa, and they all began to mentor me, and they helped me get my life on track. And they helped me get my children back, which is what I wanted more than anything. And I wanted to be a good mom. So they helped me every step of the way to accomplish my dream. So 4 years after encountering them, I married and I moved to Claremore. And my husband and I were talking one day, and he said to me, "Let's make a dream come true." And we thought about it, and I decided I wanted to help other children like someone helped my children. So he said, "How will we do that?" And I said, "Well, let's build houses. Let's start houses in this community. Let's help women move from prison or drug treatment or life crisis. Let's help them move from there into a safe house, and we'll help them get on their feet and help them get their children back." Well, Oklahoma incarcerates more women than anywhere in the world.
Boy, really?
And because of that, we have a lot of women in our state that are felons. And our state really wasn't as felon friendly 6 years ago as it is today. So when I was housing the women, I was having a hard time getting them employed. So I decided I would start a business. I would start a coffee house because it was a low investment, and I thought it was something I could achieve. And that I would hire the women, and the community would get to know the women like I know them, and not just their criminal past. And it would be a pathway into our community. That way we would house them, we would employ them, and we would help them get their children out of DHS custody.
So several things are at play here, if I'm hearing you correctly.
Yes.
The women were finding their way with the public again, learning to interact again, because it is a learning process that they have to go through, to relearn how to get along. Second, it lets the public get to know one who's trying to get her life in order and get back on board. And third, and probably most important, it reunites the children and the parent.
Yes.
What a marvelous concept. So you started with a single dwelling and a coffee shop. Where are you now?
Now we have 13 homes and 2 coffee shops.
Really?
Yes, and lately we've been getting a lot of recognition because our governor-elect, Stitt, he came to Claremore on the campaign trail. He visited the coffee shop. He learned the mission, and he was amazed because we're doing this. We've been doing this for about 12 years, and we don't cost the state anything. We're trying to save the state money by pulling children out of DHS, pulling moms out of prison, reuniting them, and then giving them a safe community to live in.
Are you also, and this is a big assumption on my part, but are you also available if they just late at night need somebody to talk to? They can pick up the phone and call you?
Yes. I am called Mother Bear. And they look to me as their mother and their leader to guide them. And I also, in each home, I have a house manager. So I have supervision, and that is a woman that has come through our program, has graduated the program, and has chosen to stay on as a peer counselor.
What did the governor have to say about it?
He likes it. He's very fond of our program. In fact, on April the 5th, 2019, he declared it was Rhonda Bear Day.
That's what I wanted you to tell.
Yes,
That come as
yes.
quite a surprise, I guess.
Oh my goodness, I was completely shocked. Yes, completely unexpecting. Had no idea he had even thought of anything like that.
So your husband's reaction to this?
He's very proud of me.
I'll bet he
Yes.
is.
My children are proud of me, which means a
How old
lot
are your
to
children
me.
now?
Now they are 30 and 32 and 28.
And I'm assuming you said they're proud. They're watching Mom with a great deal of pride.
They are, which means a lot to me because I heard someone say to me the other day, I was doing a TED Talk, and I was kind of nervous because I'm just learning to do a little bit of public speaking. And they said, when you speak or serve out of your pain, you're always going to be passionate. And my pain was what I did to my children with my drug addiction. But I became a drug addict at 12 years old.
Really?
So drugs, they ran my entire life.
And see, a lot of people think, a lot of uninformed people think, oh, well, you can walk away from that. Nobody can do that. You need help.
You need help.
Yeah.
You need help. And unfortunately, it took prison to be my help. But prison, I received a small sentence. My judge was so merciful to me. He gave me a 10-year sentence. But he said, if you will do a 12-month drug program in prison, I will let you out, and then you will have to report to the courts for 10 years. And if you don't mess up, we'll let you go. But a lot of women in Oklahoma, we give sentences that take the life out of them and their children. One of the stories that caught Governor Stitt's attention was a young lady who was in the courts because of substance abuse, and she relapsed and messed up. They gave her 45 years. She was single, 30 years old, head of household, 3 children, under the age of 10. It took the life out of those children. And when I heard her story, I knew I had to be her voice in the state.
Did you get involved?
I did.
And what
I began
happened?
to advocate. Well, on the Friday before Christmas Eve this past year, she walked out of prison.
Sweet.
It took 2 years and 7 months of telling her story everywhere I went. But to me, that was an excessive, unjust sentence. That was somebody that sentenced her was mad.
Is she reunited with her children?
She's reunited with her children. She's left the state. She's actually in Wichita, Kansas. And she's working for a name chain of dog grooming and dog training program. And she's doing very well.
Well, I hate to cut this short, but we are out of time. It went
Okay.
quickly. Thank you for what you've done, and thank you for what you're doing. And we'd like to get you back sometime if you're in a mood to do it.
I would love to.
Good. Maybe we can bring one of the ladies in with you.
We will do that, Sam.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Good to see you.
Thank you,
kids.
sir.
We're all out of time for this edition of Perspectives. I want to thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.